How to stop giving a f. I'm gonna bleep out all the words here because one, it's not very ladylike, and I know some of my audience is a little bit younger, and I don't want to influence you guys to have a potty mouth like me because swearing is not good. Welcome back to my channel. We're back. We're back. We're back. But recently I had an epiphany, okay? During this solar eclipse or whatever happened in the cosmos recently, I believe it was on the 7th or the 9th, I had an epiphany, okay? I was sitting there, as one does, bawling her eyes out, as one does, praying to the Almighty, as one does. And, you know, I was crying because, you know, what have you was happening in my life. People were talking about me. I was just like reeling. And life was just kicking me in the mental caboose. Well, nothing was actually genuinely happening. I was just like, I was having a girl moment. Okay, we have those fucking moments. It happens. Anyhow, I had to sit there and I was crying and I was praying to, you know, the Almighty. And I was like, wait a minute. I give way too much of a f right now. I care way too much about what is happening right now. Okay, I care way too much about what people are saying about me. I care way too much about what people are thinking about me, how people might react to me, etc., etc. It was almost like a shift just happened. It was like the light just turned on in my brain, and I was like, wait a minute. And this has been something that I've been dealing with for the longest time. I've always been the type of person who cared so much about what other people thought of me as a Leo does. And I just had to sit there and realize, wait a second, I don't actually care. And it may sound easier said than done, duh. But I don't actually care. I don't actually care. Okay? You people don't pay my bills. You people don't go to bed with me at night. You people aren't in my dreams. You people don't live with me. You people don't know me. So why do I give a f? Okay? Pardon my French here. About what, you know, you're thinking. And it even goes a step further. If you care so much about what I'm doing with my life, clearly you don't have one of your own. If somebody cares so much, if somebody cares to talk about you, to rant about you, to rave about you, etc., etc., unless you're just a bad person and a sociopath, that's different. But if you're really just minding your own business, living your life, doing whatever it is that you do on a regular day-to-day basis, you know, living you, okay, and people still have to open their mouth and talk about you, but they're not coming to you directly, okay, why do you care? Why do you care? Once I go home and I'm in my bed, baby, you know, reading my romance novel, okay, with a blunt in hand, whatever I'm doing, at the end of the day, these people aren't with me. These people aren't there. These people aren't there when I was bawling my eyes out, having a whole episode about whatever was going on, okay? So why do I care? You guys aren't with me 24/7, so who gives a f, okay? Just saying. And I could spew all the live long day about confidence, about believe in yourself, and you're so pretty. Remember that you're, no, girl, you don't need to be pretty to stop giving up. You don't need to be confident to stop giving up. Once you stop giving up, that's when things start to change. That's when you start to realize you take control of your life. But once you pour into yourself, once you start just doing some introspecting, setting time to yourself, isolating a little bit, and falling in love with yourself, and caring only about you, because I think I watched a video a while back by Heaven Sent Honey, one of my favorite creators on this platform, and she talked about solipsism, living your life with the idea that this is your world and everything happening to you and everything surrounding you is simply just a reflection of your own brain. Everything that's happening around me or to me is simply just a reflection of my mind, okay? It's simply just a storybook playing itself out. I control who I allow to bring my mood up or down. I control how my voice, I control how I dress. As you can see, that's why I'm such a bad today, okay? Because I decided to take the reins and realize I'm the god of my reality. So whatever I say or do is what goes, okay? So if I don't want to feel like shit because, oh no, I fell off the escalator, everybody saw me, it's already over. It already happened. What now? They're going to be talking about something new next week. Something new is going to come up. They're not going to care about you eventually because a lot of people are going through their own. Everybody's going home and probably crying and bawling their own eyes out because mommy doesn't love them. They got their car in an accident, whatever. Okay, so stop giving a fuck today. Okay, stop caring. Okay, nobody cares about you as much as you think they do. Okay, just saying. And this is not to be harsh. I swear I love you guys. Okay, but this is something I had to put into my own mind. And this doesn't just have to be in pertinence to other people. This doesn't have to just be when people are talking about you, when people are saying things, when people are just, you know, being people. Okay, because at the end of the day, that's all they are just people. They bleed and cry like you do. Just saying. Okay, this can be in situations in life when we find ourselves in conflict, when we find ourselves in a negative situation, when we find ourselves downtrodden. Okay, it's gonna work itself out. It always does. It always has. That's why you're sitting here today watching this video of a bad bitch talking about it. Okay, and if life, this is gonna be harsh. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit harsh, but this is for me because I used to be a depressed girly who used to just let any major conflict or any major, you know, setback in my life bring me down, and I would be in a depression for I don't know how long. Those days are obviously over because remember, I'm a bad bitch. But if life were that bad, truly, you wouldn't be here to talk about it. You wouldn't be here to talk about the shit that you were going through. You would have found a way to make it stop. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. And that's not to be harsh. This is not to dismiss any mental health, you know, any sadness, sadness, whatever. Okay. But if life were that bad and it was that unbearable, okay, you would have found a way to end it. Okay. You would have found a way to get yourself out of it. It's kind of like how, you know, when black mamas, they be like, girl, if you were hungry, you would have eaten that apple in the fridge, baby. You would have eaten them little crackers in the fridge. You not hungry for real? You would have ate that ramen, the mac and cheese, the Kraft mac and cheese in the cabinet. Okay. So, with that being said, stop caring. Okay, and I know it's easier said than done. Duh! I didn't say it was gonna be easy to stop giving a. Did I say it was gonna be easy? No. Get better at dealing with the difficult stuff, okay? Because life doesn't just get easier. You just get better at dealing with it. Unfortunately, okay? But it's good at times. It's great. Honestly, I fucking love life. I love life now because I had this epiphany. I just want to say, remember, one day you will die. And so will the people around you. So do you want to go out being somebody who gave a fuck so much about what everybody thought and let it hinder them from achieving whatever it is that you wanted to achieve? Okay? From pursuing your dreams, from wearing a certain outfit, from doing what you want to do. Okay? I know people in my personal life who are literally on NBC, who are literally walking Miami Swim Week, who are literally doing all these things. Do you think they would have gotten there if they were paying attention to what people thought about them, if they were thinking about the negatives that they've gone through? No, they power through, they barrel through even, and they get their shit done. Period. Okay? You think Beyonce got to being on the stage by letting people in her personal life who told her, oh, you're never going to be famous, you're never going to be anything? No. She's Beyonce because she didn't listen to people like that. Nicki Minaj had millions of people, okay, preying on her downfall. And she's exactly where she is today because she didn't give a She didn't care, okay? She did it anyway. She did the damn thing anyway, and that's why Nicki Minaj is Nicki Minaj. So, I hope this video helped somebody. It wasn't really a how-to or a guide or anything like that. I just wanted to rant about this epiphany I had because it really just dawned on me that I was caring so much about other things when I really could just be making this money. I could be getting pretty. I could be reading a book. I could be learning a new vocabulary word. Okay? Whenever you're in doubt, whenever you're feeling like shit, go make some money. Anyways, y'all, let me get up out here. I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a quick one, but a fun one. And stay hot, stay high, stay happy, stay sexy, stay loving yourself, stop giving a okay? I don't even know what's wrong with me. I'm sorry, I just look so delicious right now. And stay happy. I don't know if I already said that, but who cares, right? Because we don't give a, you know the rest. Bye! Oh, I didn't do a thumbnail. My hair looks a little bit crazy, but it's okay. Bye.